So the EQA is basically the GLA with a, I would say, sexier front.
Oh, it's much nicer looking, yeah.
I think it's nicer looking.
Yeah, the GLA never really tickled my fancy massively. So I think this looks much better.
Yeah, it's quite a sleek little devil, nice wheels.
It is. Yeah, the grille's very interesting as well, just a flat grille, I suppose that's because it's electric.
It is, but the thing for me is that they've gone about it in a half-arsed is the word. Half-arsed way, by just taking the petrol engine out and shoving the electric powertrain in.
Right.
So I mean, you could be sitting in a
you could sit in a
GLA there, couldn't you?
Yeah, nice interior though.
There's no argument. It's a lovely interior, but it seems strange that they've got these standard petrol cars or petrol diesel cars, and they've just whacked the electric motor.
Yeah, because I'm sure there's limitations to that as to like battery space and all that because they're not specifically designed for it.
And I think that's the issue. When I've looked at one of these and the reviews I've looked at is there's nothing interesting about them because there's no frunk.
Right.
And the centre of gravity is higher. And the C, so this would be a GLC.
Yeah.
Now this one, the GLA's 0 to 60 is about 8.5 as electric.
Right.
This one's much quicker, but it's something in the region of 700 kilos heavier than
a regular petrol.
The petrol one.
Wow.
And also its centre of gravity therefore is much higher than a normal electric vehicle because they haven't used a skateboard platform.
Right. Yeah.
Excuse me.
That makes sense. But still a good looking car though.
Great looking car. And the interiors, they've really, I think, that one looks awesome to me. So they have changed the interior. In the petrol versions, it's got the rings for the air vents.
Right.
And they've changed it slightly and bronzed the air vents in this. And I think it looks lovely.
Yeah, all the interiors are very similar, aren't they?
And they've all got the augmented reality sat nav.
Have they?
Yeah. So
that's cool.
As we're looking at this picture, the right-hand screen, that one turns into augmented reality, so it photographs what is in front of you and tells you where to turn. Which I think I think it's a reason to buy these. And I think if you're going to buy a petrol one, there's no reason not to buy the electric one.
Right.
Can you? But they're not going to be around long because surely they're going to build.
They're going to kill them off as well.
They must kill them off quick.
I mean, they're bringing them out, so I'm sure. Well, blimey, that one's nice. Sorry, I've always loved the. Is that a B?
Yeah, so that's the GLB.
That looks massive.
So the B class is relatively new, but still not a bespoke electric vehicle.
No, but that looks like a GL, you know, the massive GL they used to do. Looks like that.
But they've seemed to have gone for the bronze effect slightly, so these wheels are bronzed, and it seems to be one of the, because normally they go blue, don't they?
All I've got to say is those wheels look like a pain to clean.
Yes, for our
the amount of spokes on there, blimey, I can't count.
That's a sexy looking car. I really like that one, and I've got to say the fronts I like, but my problem with, if I was investing my shitload of cash into these, this is what would stop me.
Right.
Because they are bringing out, this is the GLS, which is a bespoke electric vehicle, and it's electric from the ground up.
Yeah, EQS.
So yeah, EQS it's a bit bland outside, if I'm being.
It is. I'm supposing is that sort of a similar size to an S-Class?
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, it doesn't look it. It looks like it should be a CLA. No,
it carries its weight well, but inside it's something else, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that's a different league to the others, isn't it?
Yeah. So, and the other thing is with the packaging of an electric vehicle, if you take out your engine, you've still only got that amount of space, rather than having the skateboard, which Tesla are using and Volkswagen are using, to get that different. So you can get frunks in, you can get a much bigger car in a lot less footprint, and I think that's where they've gone wrong with their early ones. They've tried to play catch up quickly, and they've had years now to catch Tesla up, and they're still just putting an electric powertrain. But
I know that the Porsche Taycan, they all say it carries its weight extremely well because it's so low, and they've planned the batteries to be right at the bottom. But if, like you say, they're putting them in the bonnet and whatever, and they're not all really low down, it could get very top heavy.
Well, the reviews I've seen of the C, they say it's great in a straight line, but if you go around a corner, you will crap your pants because it doesn't carry its weight very well. No. The other thing that interests me is where this is the new EQT, and this would appear to be electric from the ground up. So this is where they're going.
Right.
So this isn't a real. Well, it is a real. They say this is ready for production, but it's a concept.
Okay. Yes, because when we looked at the concept of the EQS, it looked nothing like that EQS we just saw. So They could look nothing like this, but that is, if they can produce it to look like that, I think that'll sell like hotcakes.
Yeah, this Mercedes video that's going behind, we've put it out with their sound on, without us two Herberts talking over it, so you can listen to what old Mr. Thingy there is saying. But the whole vehicle, this vehicle, I mean, I personally love it. I've got one criticism, but I always have a criticism of something. They've put the old tech in it.
Oh, have they? They've got, I know I can see pop-out door handles by the looks of it from here. Pop-out
door handles, but you'll see the screen in a second on this one.
Okay.
But going back to the other Mercedes to me are renowned for rear-wheel drive. And because they've taken the petrol engines out of the A and the C, they're primarily front.
Are they? Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, like you say, they're always rear or four.
So where a bespoke electric vehicle, nearly all of them, the ID3, the Honda, they've all gone rear-wheel drive. Mercedes have gone down a very, very different road.
Yes, that is odd.
Because they haven't gone down the full electric road. But this thing, they're saying this is going to be the cheapest way into a Mercedes.
Oh, it doesn't look like the cheapest way into a Mercedes. No,
well, it probably isn't peanuts.
No, but it still looks very, very expensive.
And they've got knobs.
Twisty knobs. We like a twisty knob.
You see, that to me, at least the manufacturers are starting to learn that most of us, and that's young and old, don't like everything on a screen.
No, because I'm certainly into tech, and like we say in all our videos, we don't like no buttons.
No, so those buttons look classy, they look nice, but this, we like a van though, don't we?
Oh yeah, always loved a van.
I think this would fall into the, what do they call them in America? Minivans.
Minivans, yes, a minivan.
We call them people carriers in the UK, minivan. I mean, I love that.
Wow,
that
roof,
sunroof is gorgeous, isn't
it? It looks like a beer bottle. I like it.
Oh yeah, it does. Yeah.
It looks like an upside down beer bottle, but other than that, I mean,
the front is awesome.
If they can make it into production to look half as good as that, they'll be on a winner.
Well, they say that is ready, so I'm surmising that is going to come in. But look, it's got the old infotainment system in with the big bezel round the edge.
Now, my only thing there reply is, I think if they're saying it's the most inexpensive way into a Mercedes, that's probably
fair.
why.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair.
Putting old tech in it to make it more affordable, that makes sense.
And the thing with, it's got knobs, and the thing that I'm not a great fan of the screen just bolted on, even
like that.
I mean that I think is a lovely dashboard, but if that screen was set in between the two vents, that would suit me down to the ground.
The gear shifter, I don't like it.
Oh, that
needs to be a button. Just a.
Oh no, I you know me. I like getting my hand on a big knob.
Yes, but that knob doesn't suit the car.
Oh,
that looks like it's from a 2005 CLK.
No, the steering wheel, love it, except for the haptic switches. The dash, blimey, that almost looks like my E-Class.
Yeah, and the rev gauge looks like a Toyota Prius.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
it's got the charge. It's got the because it's not digital, so. I suppose there's a limit. There's a limitation on what you can do with that. I suppose
it must be.
It doesn't look it, does it? That looks like proper dials.
Yeah.
Which in a way I do prefer. Sometimes I do prefer proper dials.
I love the front because I like the little. They're using the Mercedes logo, but I think from the thing that I don't get is why they've pumped electrification into their cars without changing them from petrol. This one I can see being an EQ, but I think the EQA should have just been called the GLAE.
Yes, and they should have made the EQA as a bespoke.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm coming to with this. And this one is the new, they reckon that's the concept. It looks very similar, but that's not it, that's back to the T. But there will be, in fact that might not have been it, but the new EQ is going to be a bespoke electric vehicle, so they're just whacking the engine in.
I think that's the way they're going to have to go.
But I think that's a super sexy beast. I'd buy that.
Yes, I'd like to buy that. That's really nice.
I mean, I don't need practicality now, so I wouldn't buy it from that reason. But in my previous life, that would have been something I'd have been more than happy to roll around.
No, it looks like a very nice vehicle to be in, and a very nice looking vehicle as well. Because normally a van, most people don't want to drive a van because they don't feel cool in the morning. Yeah. I'd feel cool in that.
Well, I used to drive a Vito, so at work we for tax reasons we all went around Vitos, but then we all ended up loving them.
Yeah, no, they're great vans, those.
Uncle Colin, didn't he? He got a Vito and never went back.
No, never went back. He still got one.
Yeah, still got one. So you know, I think there's a lot of place for a vehicle like that, because I don't think that's ugly. Or I mean, I'd be more than happy if you were, you know, when we were running you to school and whatever, that mum would have loved that.
Oh yeah, wouldn't she half? It's lovely. And I think the whole exterior view is totally different to anything you've seen before on a vehicle of that style.
Yeah.
So I think it's a cracking looking car.
But I think if that's the future of the EQ range, I think it's going to be fantastic. And but I think they've made a little error in naming the other ones EQ. I think they should have made it very, very separate. So they are saying that is going to come out in 2022.
Blimey, it's not long.
And I've listening to what this chap in the background said, he is saying that this is, as more or less as it can be, a production ready. We're looking at a production ready vehicle.
Right. Well, that will change the game.
I think so.
I think that'll change the game.
And there isn't a vehicle like that out there, and Tesla, that's one thing they're not very good at, is practicality, isn't it?
No, but other than the price, it'd probably be a bit more expensive, but a lot of taxi companies are going to start going for those as well.
That's a very, very good point.
I mean, you're going to see them everywhere. In London, I imagine there'll be millions.
Yeah, actually, you know, that's a cracking idea.
Yeah, I mean, if they're relatively affordable, which I'm surmising it will be, they'll be a great taxi.
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
We've been in a Dacia Logan, haven't we, here?
Yeah, we have.
But I imagine at the airport, the higher end, you'll see a lot of those.
Yes, yeah, because
they'll be everywhere.
Other than that screen, it looks very high end, and they're saying, going back to all I can repeat is what they're saying is this is the cheapest way into a Merc. Well,
we'll have to wait and see how cheap is, but I think compared to the others, it will probably be cheaper than the rest if they're saying that.
So there we are. As he said, the future is coming. And I say, if you want to listen to that without us yakkering over it, that's being uploaded as well. So we'll leave you at that. We're liking what the EQ is doing.
We are. Thank you for watching.
All the best.